dive into the depths of a theory that has challenged minds for centuries. Our journey begins with a man named Jean-Jacques Rousseau, an intellectual titan of the 18th century. This enigma we're about to explore is his theory of the state of nature. But what is it exactly? In simple terms, it's an exploration into the primal, authentic condition of mankind, stripped of all societal constraints. Fasten your intellectual seatbelts as we unravel the mysteries of Rousseau's thought. Imagine a world untouched by civilization, where man is free and unencumbered. In this world, as Jean-Jacques Rousseau envisioned, man is inherently good, free, and living a solitary life. It's a world where the trappings of society are non-existent, and the natural state of man is allowed to flourish unhindered. Rousseau's perspective diverges significantly from other philosophers of his era. While some suggested that man was naturally cruel and brutish, Rousseau proposed the opposite. He believed that man, in his natural state, was innately kind and compassionate. This inherent goodness, according to Rousseau, was not a product of society, but rather a fundamental aspect of human nature itself. But what happens when man is no longer in this state of nature? Rousseau suggested that society and its institutions corrupt the natural goodness of man. He argued that the formation of societies, the establishment of laws, and the creation of private property led to inequality, competition, and conflict. In essence, he was suggesting that civilization itself is the root cause of many of our problems. This is a remarkable and somewhat controversial idea. It prompts us to question the very fabric of our societies and to ponder whether our progress has indeed been for the better or worse. Rousseau's theory suggests that we were born free, but are everywhere in chains. It's a powerful notion, one that challenges us to reflect on our own lives and the world around us. From the solitary wilds, we now venture into the bustling arena of society. As we step into this realm, we encounter the cornerstone of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's philosophy, the social contract. Rousseau proposed that in order to survive the harsh realities of the state of nature, human beings willingly surrender some of their freedoms. This is not an act of defeat, but rather a strategic compromise. By relinquishing a portion of their liberty, individuals gain the protection of their life, liberty, and property from the collective force of society. In other words, they trade the absolute freedom of the wilderness for the structured safety of civilization. This agreement, this pact, is what Rousseau termed as the social contract. It's an unwritten yet powerful agreement that forms the bedrock of any society. It's not a document you sign, it's an understanding you accept when you choose to live within a community. Now, you might wonder, what happens to the freedoms individuals give up? They don't just disappear into thin air. They merge into what Rousseau called the general will. Imagine it as a collective consciousness, an amalgamation of the surrendered freedoms of all individuals. And this general will, Rousseau argued, should be the guiding force of society. But the general will is not a simple majority rule. It's not about what most people want at a given time, but rather, it's about what is best for the society as a whole. It's a concept that transcends personal whims and inclinations, embodying the common good. Rousseau believed that the general will, when correctly identified and followed, leads to laws and decisions that benefit everyone, even if they might seem inconvenient to some individuals at times. It's a guiding beacon that illuminates the path towards a just and equitable society. And so, we find ourselves bound by this invisible contract, living under rules and norms that we've implicitly agreed to follow. We've traded the absolute freedom of the wilderness for the security and benefits of society. In Rousseau's world, the social contract binds us together for better or worse. Now, let's bring Rousseau's theories into the 21st century. You see, Rousseau's ideas are not merely dusty philosophical musings from the 18th century. They are living, breathing concepts that continue to shape our world. His vision of this state of nature has been a cornerstone in political theory, influencing ideologies from liberalism to socialism. His social contract concept is mirrored in our democratic societies, where we willingly surrender some freedoms for the sake of common good. Every time you vote, engage in peaceful protest, or even pay your taxes, you are, in a way, participating in Rousseau's social contract. His ideas are not confined to textbooks, but resonated in the echoes of our everyday life. Rousseau's theories continue to provoke thought and challenge our understanding of society and ourselves. So, we leave you with this question: are we truly free, or are we bound by the chains of our own making?